Everybody here at the Academy is wanting success. It's in every cadet at all three pillars. Athletics is supporting, academics is supporting, military is supporting.
It's just about that team environment. You can't make it through the Academy by yourself, and you certainly can't be a water polo player by yourself.
Teamwork, obviously, in the military environment is a huge thing. We tend to look at each other not only as teammates, but as brothers and sisters in arms, and I have a bunch of brothers on this team.
I'm the first one in the Air Force just in the military in general, out of all of my family, so that means a lot. And to be playing Division I water polo and just represent my hometown where not a lot of people play college water polo, it means a lot to me to come out here and be able to represent them.
You really get kind of comfortable with what the military is like after the Academy, and so that sets us up for success, but also they implement different training to where we can have opportunities to lead and become future officers.
And the different leadership opportunities that you learn on the Hill apply down in the pool and vice versa.
Military portion, the grades portion, being in the classroom, excellence in all you do all the time, all those things. Being a water polo player is only helping them prep for that.
Water polo is really interesting just because there are so many different aspects to the sport, and it's kind of an amalgamation of a lot of different sports.
There's one goalie, 6 field players, 6 defenders. You play offense and defense, and you're just swimming back and forth the whole time for 8 minutes, 4 quarters. You see all the stuff that goes on above water, but that's like 20% of the game. Most of the game goes on underwater. There's a lot of grabbing, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of kicking.
It's definitely more of a West Coast sport, but it's starting to grow and move towards the East Coast and in between.
A lot of water polos in California. That's where a lot of the guys on the team are from. That's where I'm from. But it's really interesting to come out here and have just a different environment and get to travel all across the country, as well as just play D1 water polo.
My favorite thing is during the anthem before games, when we're standing there saluting and they're shaking around, getting the pregame jitters out, it just is a stark difference, and I'm proud of that. That's when it all kind of comes together and you realize that you're an Air Force water polo player.
Tonight, it's number 20 Navy taking on Service Academy rival Air Force. Up top, Snyder keeps it moving. Fuller inside, he bounces one home.
The win over Navy was probably one of my favorite water polo games, if not my favorite water polo game that I've played in my life.
That's the game that we always look forward to. We're always looking forward to playing them. It was especially sweet this year just because when we finally got that win, and to do it at their house and in the fashion that we did was just so sweet.
They put midshipmen in the stands, and they filled the place. They were loud. Great environment to play in, as it should be, as a rival game should be.
Being able to beat the other Service Academy always feels good, and it goes past just that rivalry. I think it's because both Air Force and Navy, we deal with a lot of the same problems that most schools don't. They have a nearly identical schedule, and so I think that to be able to beat them, and we're on an equal playing field, I think that's where it starts to feel really good, and that competition is always so lively and so fun.
The Air Force Academy Falcons come to Annapolis. Air Force 11 and Navy 7.
On our Navy trip, we went out to Arlington, and there's some significant meaning behind that.
We were so happy to have the opportunity to be on the East Coast and have a little extra downtime to do some things that are really important to us as a team. The first thing that we did, and I think foremost to the team, was we visited the grave of an alumni of the water polo team.
Derek Argel was a 2001 grad. Then he went off to our Special Forces. He was on a mission and then lost his life on that mission on Memorial Day in 2005. The crash was so bad that they couldn't separate him from his squad mates and people there, so they are in Arlington in a mass gravesite.
It's definitely eye-opening. We're in the military, people sacrifice their lives, and Derek Argel is one who made the ultimate sacrifice.
He's just reminded me to take a step and appreciate the relationships and the bonds that I've been privileged enough to form with the guys on the team.
Every upperclassman on our team has one of his memorial bracelets that we all wear, and so it was really powerful to be able to go and see him and represent Air Force water polo how he would have wanted us to. If one of my teammates were to die, to know that for 20 years later, those water polo players are still going to be respecting them and honoring them is a really powerful thing.
It's not all about the sad part of it. We got to celebrate his life too and the things that he represented.
He was someone that cared about others, that was willing to sacrifice himself in all areas for the benefit of his teammates.
Everybody who I've ever met who's known him has said that he was just the biggest team-oriented guy that you've ever met. He didn't care who you were on the team. If you were on the team, you were his brother.
He really set the tone of what an Air Force Academy water polo player should be like.
When we represent ourselves and we put AF on and we're playing games, like we're representing, yes, the current team, but we're also representing the past. We're representing the future Falcons as well.
And guys are happy to be here. Everyone who's here wants to be here and wants to work hard.
We're not the most talented team. A lot of those guys go to California. Our success comes from the team first mentality. This year, it's really just been a focus on us, not about external factors, what we can do as a team to be successful and prepare ourselves and not really worry about what anyone else has to say or do about that.
You know, I take great pride in being a coach here at the Academy. My job here is to bring kids in and not only for water polo, but to become leaders of character and you know, make sure that we're providing second lieutenants for the Air Force.